keep speaking now?
Keep speaking. You sure you want me to keep speaking?
Well, not really, but...
Right, well, I'm ready to go. I will try not to waffle on so that it's it doesn't go on for ages.
10 minutes later and you're not waffling on.
3 minutes, I was thinking.
Sorry, I get a blocked nose when I speak these days.
Got any plans tomorrow night? So I could have popped in and seen you for half an hour because I've got him through training the tomorrow night. If you're
cool, I'll just postpone my wank for later on then.
Aye, please do. Yeah, I'm away. Bye.
Bye.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.
Manchester, brace yourself. Rangers are coming!
Hi everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the I Ready podcast. As ever, I'm your host Derek, and with me is my co-host Dave. How are you doing, Dave?
Derek, I'm very well. How's yourself?
Very good. I mean, we've got a great podcast to go over tonight, haven't we?
We certainly have. Things are looking up. We're feeling a bit more confident, and it's the future's looking a lot more promising than it has been.
The future's bright. The future's blue. I wasn't going to say orange there because we might get, said we're sectarian or something like that.
I was thinking we'll go a wee bit more direct and say the future is red, yellow, and black, considering that's the colours of the Belgian flag. So we'll leave it at that.
Or it's clementine.
Possibly, which is a shade of
tangerine. Yes, it's all looking rosy just now so far. So we'll go down the tunnel and onto the pitch. So, Dave, the first game we've got to cover, it was a bit tetchy for 95 minutes, wasn't it, Dave? But we eventually became 2-1 winners against Hearts. That was on Sunday, the 29th of October. That was in the Premiership. This is going to be the worst game we've got to cover, Dave, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, Derek. But a positive result in the end.
Yes. So there was one change from the Sparta game that we last played. That was Ridvan in for Suter. So giving us that width at the back there with being a natural left back. We lined up Butland, Tavernier, Goldson, Davis, Ridvan, Lundstrom, Raskin, Lammers, Cantwell, Seema and Dessers. On the subs bench were McCrory, Suter, Jack, Cifuentes, Dowell, Wright, Devine, McCausland and Danilo. Obviously, as well, it was Remembrance Sunday, so in typical fashion, there was the minute silence as well as the card display as well. Impeccably observed by both sets of fans. Yep. You wouldn't expect anything else at Ibrox, would you?
Yep.
So the first half, a woeful first half. We reverted back to the same style that has got the previous two managers the sack. Seema, Cantwell were the only ones with pass marks. Lammers, Dessers, Tavernier, all abysmal. We had 7 corners in that first half. Very few have got past their first man. Tavernier's crosses have basically been hit and hope. We were playing with slow pace, not shooting at all. Really poor, Dave, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was, Derek. As you say, total lack of invention. And it looked as if we were just sort of very slowly going through the gears without really getting any momentum at all. And exactly, just like what you said, just like what we had been watching for, the past few months, it was pretty poor.
So it all went Pete Tong on the 5th minute and Hearts got an early goal. It was played from the centre to the left. The player steps in, a long cross to the back post. Ridvan doesn't read it and jumps too early, loses his man in the process, and it was a really good header from the back post into the back of the net. So simple, Dave. I think a mixture of Ridvan being so small, but also as well completely mistiming his jump.
Not even that, Derek. It was Lauren Shankland. Do you know what I mean? It's Hearts' talisman. It's their only striker. It's someone who there should be somebody on him if there's a sniff, because he is a very good player. I don't care what anybody says. He's a natural finisher. And, when Hearts' only sort of goal threat comes into our box, you would be expecting one of your centre-halves to be on him to try and get to get the ball away. Never mind the smallest guy on the park, that's our left back. But as you say, he completely misjudged it. It was a very good header by Shankland as well, but there really should have been somebody on him, so, one of the centre halves. So it was a complete disaster defensively all round for us.
Yeah, absolutely. 27th minute, a corner in from the right. Goldson with a header off Dessers and literally cleared off the line. So kind of unlucky that there. Dessers maybe should have been doing a wee bit better there, but it did kind of come off him. 33rd minute, Lundstrom with a shot just outside of the box. It was blocked and out for the corner. And on the 48th minute, those three words you love to hear just before half time: penalty to Rangers. It was a nice ball into the box, finds Cantwell in space. Cantwell cuts into the middle and he was taken out. Absolutely no danger. It was a penalty. It was as clear as you like. Cantwell actually probably had a bad first touch, which kind of put him off, and he had to take that extra step, and I think that's what kind of flummoxed the defender there as well. So definite penalty. Up steps Tavernier though on the 49th minute, and he hits the post. Tavernier's penalties generally good, but when he misses them, he has howlers. You've got to be hitting the target, haven't you?
I know, you could say that about anything, Derek. I mean, everybody will miss a penalty at some point, but it was more the opportunity just before half time to go in all level, considering that we hadn't played particularly well. I think that was just more of the disappointing thing for myself.
I think it just summed up that half, really, given the fact that there was 7 corners, done nothing with it. So many crosses, not beating their first man. It was just poor all round. However, into the second half, we made a substitution at half time. Dessers came off and Danilo on. Certainly the right thing to do, because he was having a shocker. I was saying, it should be a quadruple sub at half time, but he stuck with just the one. Good that he was making the changes though, because with previous managers they would have just waited, tried to see if something else would have changed. Not that you've done anything in the team. We would have waited to 60 minutes when it's too late.
Yeah, no, it was, and it's refreshing to see as well, Derek. I think you can see that he is a proper manager. He's got a calibre. He knows if something's not working or someone just isn't in a game, he knows to change it. There's no any blushes spared, and that was good to see. But like you, I was that fed up at that point. I was hoping that he would sub, at least 2, if not 3 of them. But I'm no football manager, Derek, and that's what he did. But something needed to change regardless for the second half.
Yes. 48th minute was a shot by Lundstrom from outside the box, deflected off the defender, falls to Danilo and he shoots wide. It was offside in any case. Same minute as well, nice work around the box, ending in Lundstrom with a shot wide. 57th minute, plenty of pressure around the Hearts box. Cantwell wins the ball on the edge, turns and shoots, deflected wide, across to the near post, and Lammer shoots wide. 60th minute, a shot by Raskin hits the side netting. In that play, he somehow manages to injure himself and he had to go off on a stretcher. It looked a bad one as well. I think it was just the way the cross came in, the way he tried to balance himself, and he was kind of turning as well as he shot. And he's twisted his knee, I think, and he's been out for ever since then. I think it's quite a bad one as well. I don't think we've had any sort of update, have we?
No, we've not heard much. And actually, look, the technique looked fantastic as well. I actually thought from the angle that he had scored, unfortunately, it was the side netting, but certainly from the way that he swung around, it looked as if he'd done it perfectly. But obviously, he's tweaked something, and it's just not been right. And then that's him now out. So it shows you, again, for us with the injuries, that we're just so unlucky, and that wasn't even a tackle or anything like that. It was one of the players having a shot. So it sums up our luck on the injury front, doesn't it?
Took the words right out of my mouth there, Dave.
Aye.
63rd minute, then Raskin came off and Wright came on. 76th minute, Cantwell off, McCausland on. 82nd minute, Lammers off and Jack on. 87th minute, there was a VAR check for a possible penalty from the corner just beforehand as well. It was a great spot. Goldson was clearly getting impeded with a clear shot pull, penalty given and yellow card. No excuse there from the defender. Absolutely ludicrous to do. We'll get into that at the end of the game. But up steps Tavernier, high into the roof of the net, 1 each. Brilliant. And then there seemed to be a lift from that, because just after that, with the injuries, there was a couple of injuries in the game, there was a couple of VAR checks, 9 minutes of injury time. The whole stadium seemed to get a lift from that. The players seemed to get the lift as well. And on the 93rd minute, absolute bedlam, because Danilo scores to make it 2-1. Went down the right-hand side, a lovely long cross to the back post, and Danilo, with his mask on, a header into the bottom left corner. Outstanding, Dave.
Eric, it was. We saw in this game the worst and the best of James Tavernier, didn't we? And certainly in the second half, he upped his game. So I'm going to give the man as much credit as I can for the character that he did, for him to step up and score the penalty. And then that delivery, that's what we're looking for. When Tav does eventually get his delivery spot on, there's more, it's usually a goal at the end of it, and it was a perfect cross from the right and a fantastic header by Danilo. And as you say, the place just absolutely erupted for us to be 2-1 up. In the space of 3 minutes or however long it was, for us getting beat to us then winning, it was fantastic. Great for Danilo, great for Tavernier, and just great for us Rangers fans as well. And you could see how much it meant to the manager as well, because that's really the first bit of emotion that we've really seen him have on the side of the pitch, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? The thing about this half was, as much as the quality wasn't there, we just never gave up. And we kept on going. And that was the heartening thing about this team, is we just kept on going. And it's the cliched thing about, and it certainly got used at the time, well, if you leave it 4 weeks ago, that would never have happened. We would have lost that game. And
100%.
That definitely is correct in that one, because we never gave up in this game. The penalty itself, I mean, the moaning-faced, greeting wee turd that is Naismith, and we'll get into him for the last game in the cup game there, claiming it wasn't a penalty because there was blocking going on just beforehand. No, if you actually look at it, the blocking, the shot pull was getting done first, and then there was blocking. Now, blocking happens in every set piece and every cross that goes on. You don't give penalties for blocking unless it's a clear and obvious obstruction. I mean, Celtic fans, as they typically do, came on and started moaning about the fact that, we get this penalty once again, 2 penalties in one game. That should have never been a penalty. When do you ever see penalties for shot pulling? You see penalties for shot pulling all the time now. Yep. And it was highlighted as well, even before VAR came in an Old Firm game, where there was a Rangers player clearly pulling the shirt of one of their players, and they got a penalty for it. Yeah. There is nothing we can say about that, because it was a clear penalty. It was stupidity from the defender. Most level-headed people understood you can't do that. It's a penalty. And just because it doesn't get given in other games doesn't mean then you've got to not give it in another game. 2 wrongs don't make a right. It's up to the referee in the first instance to get that right. VAR's there that corrects a clear and obvious error. So done that. And
we'll be talking about VAR for the other games as well, Derek, and finally it was getting used for things that had been missed. And as you say, that was a great spot, and it was a clear penalty. Stephen Naismith, could speak about him all day long, but he's obviously very bitter with the fact of that but he was talking absolute nonsense, because quite clearly, as you say, the shot pulling was going on before the blocking, as he put it. And when somebody like Michael Stewart even comes out and says that it was a penalty for Rangers, then you know that it definitely was, Derek. So no complaints. And as you say, just that fight and that never give up, that's what we're looking for, especially in games that we're not playing well. That's the type of spirit that we're looking for. And I was delighted after that, Derek, because I knew that we hadn't played well, but just that wee fighting right at the end, that bit of belief in us managing to get there and get the 3 points, absolutely fantastic.
Yes. So that leads us into the next game here. Wednesday, the 1st of November. It was away against Dundee in the Premiership, where we won 5-0. Dave, this game had it all, didn't it? It was just madness.
Oh, absolutely bizarre.
Obviously, the game was in doubt even before kick-off. During that day, obviously, horrendous downpours. Dundee were putting out media releases about possible call-off, but fortunately they got everything done. Rangers stayed at St Andrews the night before. They went up the roads and they got stuck in a traffic jam, and so it was 45 minutes delayed.
Yep.
The other road as well had roadworks in it, so that never helped either. And if that wasn't bizarre enough, Dave, the stadium is now called the Scott Foam Stadium.
Foam Stadium, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, very bizarre. It'll always be Dens Park to me, Derek, but that's me just showing, I'm a old codger that'll not change my ways. It'll always be Dens Park. But yeah, very bizarre, wasn't it?
Yes. So, Dave, how did the game go?
Well, Derek, as you say, it went bizarre to bizarre to bizarre to even in more bizarre as the game actually went on, because there was things that happened that we've never seen before. And I'm not just talking about Sam Lammer's goal. I'm talking, but the game, as you say, was delayed before 45 minutes. So the team that Philip Clement put out for this game, Butland in goals, Tavernier, Goldson, Leon Balogun coming back into the team, Ridvan, Lundstrom, Jack Lammers, Sima, Scott Wright on for the start, and Danilo getting his starting place in the team after scoring that winner against Hearts. On the subs bench, McCrory, Dessers, Cantwell, Cifuentes, Dowell, Sterling, Barisic, King and McCausland. So, Derek, slowly you can see the bench starting to get a bit more healthier. Players that are experienced on the bench there, which is a good thing to see. But with the game already being 45 minutes delayed, just within 2 minutes, Derek, and again, we can get into this. In the Rangers' end, there was a display of pyrotechnics, red flares, smoke everywhere, which looked spectacular. But in a stadium like the Scott Foam Stadium, being a small stadium, the smoke then bellowed out onto the pitch. So the referee deemed the smoke that was going to affect play, whether it did or it didn't. The referee took the decision to halt the match, and then, even more bizarrely, the police became involved and took all the players off of the pitch without anyone really knowing what was going on. Apparently, it turned out that the smoke alarm had been set off by what had happened. I mean, I don't know if that's official from Dundee, that's actually what happened, but the police thought that they would have to take the players off the pitch. I didn't see the need for that whatsoever.
From what I've read into and from other podcasts, is that it was the police's decision to take the players off the park because a fire alarm was going off. So I get the whole point about there's a fire alarm going off. There's a potential issue there. We've seen it in other stadiums before with disasters. I suppose you can't take that chance as well. But I think the fact that it wasn't communicated to anyone what was happening, that was the big issue. And it was the police that kind of taken that stand there.
It wasn't even, I mean, the commentators, that were covering the match didn't even know it was going on either. It wasn't until later on that's what it came out that they thought was the reason for that. But anyway, Derek, after about 15 minutes, the game eventually went on. And, we thought that it would maybe be to our detriment and maybe slow things down, but it certainly didn't, because Rangers came out of the traps, all guns blazing. And it was a joy to see, because in the 4th minute, it was a great break from Rangers. Ridvan on the left with a low cross into Sima. He slides, just misses him at the back post, and it looked as if it was going to be a certain goal. Really unlucky there, but just a minute later, it was a goal to Rangers. And it was that man who was back in the Rangers team in defence, Leon Balogun. He picks up the ball in defence and runs forward into the Dundee half. He plays a great through ball to Danilo, who loses his man. He shoots at an angle, and the goalkeeper, what can we say, Derek? He made an arse of it. He spilled it into the back post. There was Ryan Jack to fire the ball into the back of the net. Great play from Danilo to get the shot away, and excellent play from Balogun. A little bit fortunate for Jack, but I really don't care. It's about time that we had players following up and getting any loose scraps, and that was good to see. So, fantastic early lead for us, Derek. What did you think of that one?
I mean, that if everything else before that wasn't bizarre enough, I mean, Balogun doing, a Bugira rolling, charging 60 yards up the park with the ball.
Yep, mental. 2 minutes later, a long ball up to Danilo. He heads it down to Sima on the edge of the box, and he plays a 1-2 with Scott Wright and then shoots just wide of the post. That would have been spectacular. 10 minutes, another chance for Rangers, right to the byline. A low cross to Lammers. He shoots, but it's into the side net. It was quite fast. I'm not going to say too much about Lammers there. He didn't know too much about it, so I'll let him off with that one. Next 10 minutes, a wee bit scrappy. Yellow card for Leon Balogun for a challenge. It was clumsy. Don't know if it merited a yellow card or not, but the referee certainly gave it. And then 24th minute, a free kick to Rangers into the box, straight to Danilo, right in front of the goalkeeper. All he's got to do is put it past him, but he blasts the shot. Good save by the keeper, but the linesman then flagged for offside. Really unlucky, but should have found the net. Whether it would have stood or not, I don't know. 32nd minute, it should have been 2 again. Danilo finds himself yet again 1-on-1 at close range with the goalkeeper. He shoots and the goalkeeper manages to make a save. Then there's another shot back out to Danilo. He can't get the ball from under his feet. It tangles with the goalkeeper. Again, nothing in it, but the referee gives a foul. Don't know what was happening there. And then that took us through to half-time, Derek. So certainly Rangers on the front foot. Great getting the early goal. It was all Rangers. I can't remember Dundee having a single chance in the first half, but really should have been 2 or 3-0 up at that point.
I mean, I can't be disappointed with that. Yes, we probably should have been a couple of more goals up at that point, but we're playing well, limiting to what Dundee were getting forward, and we were on top by far. So I'm not going to grumble about that at all.
Into the second half, 49th minute, first again. Bizarre again. I don't know how he manages this, but there was a sort of ball cleared out of our defence up to Danilo. Just inside the Dundee half. He jumps up and heads the ball on basically to himself because he didn't head it on to anyone. He heads it forward. The Dundee defender hesitated and then Danilo just carried on. So it was as if he sort of laid himself on with a header. I've not seen anything like that before either. Gets to the edge of the box, it hits a shot, but goes for power rather than accuracy, which is a bit annoying, and shoots over the bar. But we only had to wait 3 minutes. In the 52nd minute, Rangers scored their second goal. It was a great team goal. Wright runs into the Dundee half, ball to Simmer on the edge of the box, and the first time through ball to Danilo, and finally he sends the ball past the goalkeeper into the net to make it 2-0. Great team goal, Derek. Great passing and moving, and finally a great finish for Danilo there.
Yes, all I've actually put here, because I've missed it, is need to watch it back. And I was intending to watch it back, and then everything else kind of kicked off, which you'll get into as well. So
Yeah, definitely. 60th minute, another chance. Ball down the wing to Rudvan, ball right across the face of the goal. Scott Wright slides in, just misses it. That would have been a great goal. 61st minute, there's a sub. Simmer comes off, Cantwell on. 62nd minute, Rudvan now getting more of the ball with a cross into the box. Danilo with the header just wide of the post again. Really unlucky. That could easily have been in the back of the net. 69th minute, another chance for Danilo. A corner on the edge of the box. Shot deflects straight to Danilo. And again, right in front of the goalkeeper. But he shoots again straight at him. And he manages to get a ball away. And it's cleared for another corner. So again, Derek, he's certainly getting in the right positions. I'm hoping it's down to rustiness rather than he's panicking in front of goal. But he really, really needs to be putting those chances away because they're clear cut. But then on the 70th minute, the first time that I really saw that Dundee having a chance, and it was a shot for the right-hand box. It was inches wide. So that was really about the only time that I saw Dundee really do anything in the second half up until that point. And then on the 74th minute, Derek, bizarre comes to bizarre because that man, Lammers, who had done absolutely nothing up to this stage apart from trying a pirouette on the ball and falling on it, looking as clumsy as you could get, looking as if he didn't know where he was running into, looking completely hopeless, let's be perfectly honest, pulls out a goal at unbelievable quality because he gets the ball in the edge of the box with 2 men in front of him and basically ghosts past both of them at the edge of the box and hits an absolute snorter of a goal right into the top corner of the net. Absolutely sensational, Derek, and everyone looking at each other in disbelief more than anything else. What did you think of that one?
To quote a very famous commentator, loft! Yeah, just a fantastic goal, just out of nowhere as well. And there's a lot of reports about him as well being this very cool, calm player. He's got the skill as well. He just needs to start showing it more, and that was certainly it. That was brilliant.
It was a fantastic goal. 75th minute, another sub. Ryan Jack and Danilo off. Cifuentes and Dessers on. 80th minute, Tav on the right wing with a low cross to Dessers. He shoots but deflects off the defender back to Lammers, who can't get any power behind it, and the shot's cleared. And then at 82nd minute, it's the 4th goal for Rangers. Dundee, and again, Derek, here we go. Another bizarre one that we'll never see again. Dundee at the Rangers box, trying to get an attack going. It's to the right-hand side. The Dundee player goes to play to the other Dundee attacker at the edge of the box, but the referee gets in the way of the play, blocks the Dundee player. The ball falls to Sam Lammers inside his own half. He sees Dessers on the left wing in the Dundee half and plays a sublime through ball to Dessers, who keeps his head, keeps the ball down. He runs into the box, fires it past the goalkeeper. It doesn't get more bizarre than that, Derek. Kevin Clancy involved in a Rangers goal, Sam Lammers with an incredible through ball, and Dessers managing to keep his head, run through and goal and blast it into the back of the net. Quite unbelievable, actually.
See, if Lammers hadn't scored about 10 minutes beforehand, that would have been the goal of the night, because that pass was incredible. I mean, You talk about Scott Allen passes. This was like fucking on steroids, this pass. And it was the composure of Dessers as well. For somebody who has been bang out of form, bang out of luck, he had a lot to do, and he'd taken it so well. It was just the pick of the bunch, ultimately. It was just brilliant.
Again, bizarre. 85th minute, it's another double substitution. Lammers and right off, Dowell and McCausland on. 85th minute, again, a penalty check here. Cantwell in the box, shoved. Looked to me as if it was a penalty. I don't even know if the referee went to VAR or a VAR check was done. Can't remember anything being said. I certainly thought there was contact there, but nothing given. And then another off-the-ball instant in the box where Dessers is actually stamped on. And again, that goes to the VAR check, Derek, and you can see quite clearly that it was another penalty to Rangers. Great again having VAR there, because I think if it hadn't have been there, I don't think it would it would have been missed. But Dessers certainly was protesting to the referee, so they had to go and have a look at it, and it was definitely a stick-on penalty for me. And then on the 90th minute, the captain, James Tavernier, stepping up, firing the ball into the back of the net to make it 5-0 to Rangers. And that is how the game rounded out, Derek. So, as you say, all the circumstances involved in this game, absolutely unbelievable. I mean, even one of these things that happened tonight would have been a talking point, but for it all to happen in the one game is quite incredible. But a fantastic performance from start to finish, you've got to say so. And dare I say it, Derek, the first time that I've actually thought to myself, this new manager, I think he's getting his point across to the players here. They looked rejuvenated, they looked hungry, they looked as if they wanted more and more goals every time it happened, and that's what we've been missing for a long, long time. Absolutely delighted with the performance.
I mean, it was relentless. You seen him Clement getting on to Dessers when we were 4-0 up, trying to score a fifth goal as well. It was just fantastic, relentless. That is the kind of key word there. Yep. I mean, the VAR check, there was a VAR check for the first push, and there was a VAR check, obviously, for the actual one we did get. I felt that the actual push was more worthy of a penalty than the stamp on the foot as well, but I don't care. We're 5-0 at that, or 4-0 at that point, getting a 5 for the penalty. So, yes, outstanding.
Yeah, fantastic.
So that leads us into the next and last game we've got to cover. It was the game yesterday, Sunday the 5th of November. It was a 3-1 win at Hampden against Hearts in the League Cup semi-final. Another great performance, Dave.
Yep, fantastic, Derek. And one that I was a wee bit nervous about. I realised that we had beaten Hearts and we'd been the better team, but it is still the semi-final of the Cup. We've seen it go disastrously wrong over the recent years. So I was a wee bit nervous about it. But as you say, especially in the second half, an excellent performance and result.
Yes. So there was 2 changes from the Dundee game. Cantwell and Barisic in, Wright and Ridvan dropped to the bench. Maybe a wee bit unlucky and Wright, that one there, but nonetheless. We lined up Butland, Tavernier, Goldson, Balogun, Barisic, Lundstrom, Jack, Lammers, Seema, Cantwell and Danilo. On the subs bench were McCrory, Ridvan, Dessers, Lawrence, Cifuentes, Sterling, Wright, Davis and McCausland. So the first half, a decent first half, however, we were very wasteful with our chances. We were completely on top, and we were trying different ways of getting forward, getting the ball into the box. We went from long balls to short balls, from one touch to multiple touches, from balls through the middle to crosses from wide. However, we have been putting the final ball wide or over the bar far too often.
Yep.
We lost the ball in our endeavours going forward. However, we were working hard, getting the ball back quickly, and that was really good to see. Something that I've noticed over the last couple of games is we're losing the ball when we're trying stuff, but there's not that fear from the players about losing the ball. And this defence we've had has been exceptionally leaky, making big mistakes. We've not had that. We've had multiple clean sheets. I know we lost a goal in this game, but that was through a penalty. We've had multiple clean sheets because the defence are stepping up. We're working harder to win the ball back. There's a bigger confidence. The confidence is growing in the team, so they're not making these silly, niggly wee mistakes that we've been seeing. So it's all throughout the team, this mindset change, which we'll get into in comments later on. But the first half, 13th minute, Danilo with a shot over the bar after some good hold-up play by Sima. 16th minute, lovely movement with a 1-2 on the edge of the box with Cantwell and Danilo, ending in Danilo having a shot over the bar. 17th minute, lovely from down the right from Tav, gets to the edge of the box, a dinked cross into the back post, and a good header from Sima, forced in the keeper into a good save and cleared by the defender. That was the first of the really unlucky ones that there. 19th minute, Cantwell passes from the middle near to the Hearts box to Jack, who crosses it in. A low glancing header by Cantwell, but an easy take for the keeper.
Yeah.
27th minute, a lovely worked move, one touch stuff. The ball was dinked over the Hearts defence. Cantwell with his back to goal spins, allows the ball to bounce, and a brilliant half volley at the near post, forcing the keeper into a great save at the near post and out for the corner. That was really unlucky, that one there.
Yep.
28th minute, Danilo with a header over the bar after the long cross from the right from Tavernier. 35th minute, corner from the left, Sima with a header wide. 45th minute, Sima with a long looping header, going goal bound, but an easy take for the keeper, and that's how the first half ended out. Into the second half, at half time, we made a change once again. Cantwell off and right on. He had picked up a booking. Initially, it was really unclear what the thinking was. Was he injured? Was it because he had a booking? And Clements came out and since he said it was a bit of a tactical thing. He had been on a booking as well, and he wanted to give Wright some minutes. So that's what's good to see. He's not making changes because he's forced into making changes. He's making them tactically. That's sometimes what you need to do. Everybody was kind of a bit sceptical about the change, but it clearly worked because Wright was sensational in the second half, wasn't he?
He certainly was, and it is, as you say, Derek, Todd Cantwell's a fan's favourite, and if you were asking the vast majority of them who's a sort of top player, we would all say that, but he's obviously not back to full fitness, and it's great that the managers can come in and say, no, that's not working, I'm going to change it. I'm going to take him off. As you say, it wasn't just because of fitness, it was tactical as well, and it shows you, that it worked. And, if that's what he's going to be doing, then, I'm all for it. It doesn't matter who comes off. If it's going to make us play better and win a game, then go for it.
And it worked almost straight away, because in the 49th minute, those three words you love to hear again, penalty to Rangers. The ball was knocked into the box. Danilo speeds into the box. He gets a touch and the keeper takes him out. Now, I do think Danilo was falling, but the keeper clearly taking him out at the same time as well. So it was, for me, Dave, a stonewaller.
Oh, it certainly was. I mean, the contact was there. Whether or not it was, people are saying it was falling or not, the goalkeeper made the blunder. He came out. He completely taking him out. It was right in front of the referee as well. No hesitations whatsoever. And, stonewall penalty again for me.
Yes. Up steps Tavernier on the 50th minute and makes it 1-0. It was a short run up. He blasts it into the bottom right. The keeper doesn't even move. I think the keeper there felt he was going to go down the middle this time, didn't he?
Possibly. I've heard a few Hearts fans complaining that he didn't even try to attempt to save it, but I think you're possibly right, Derek. There's been a few times that he's hit him sort of high in the middle there, but again, great nerve by James Tavernier to put us 1-0 up, and from that point on, we were absolutely fantastic.
Just after that, though, 54th minute, corner in from the right from Hearts, a header into the middle, and a great save from Butland to knock it out for another corner. Yep. Had nothing to do all game so far, and he pulls out a great save. However, we did go 2-0 up. A minute later, on the 55th minute, Wright scored. The ball breaks to Jack. It was a first-time pass to Danilo, who turns with one touch, passes to Wright on the other right side of the box, and with his second touch, Wright shoots it into the bottom left corner. It was quick, incisive and clinical. Exactly what we're needing.
Brilliant goal, Derek. Great break, one end of the field to the other, really fast. Hearts caught napping, and a fantastic finish with Scott Wright.
Yes. 58th minute, Hearts on the right, cuts inside and a long looping shot goal bound, and Butland with another great save to put it over the bar with one hand out for the corner. A great save there. However, that didn't matter because on the 63rd minute, Tavernier made it 3-0. It was a free kick on the edge of the box, just to the left of the centre, and he curls it into the top right, leaving the keeper rooted once again. That was a peach, Dave.
Yeah, it was absolutely sensational, Derek. Sensational. What we all, I'm saying we expect. He's done it that many, that often, but certainly in this big game for him to step up and do that, sensational stuff.
We've been critics of him, and I think justifiably, but you cannot knock him when he's like that. Yes, he can have bad games, and I think I've said this before. This is the problem with Tavernier, because he scores that many, because he can play so many great crosses. When he has a bad game, people think he can't be criticised. I think there's been more than enough occasions that criticism is justifiable. Some people go overboard, and I don't think we're the ones that have done that. But I think sometimes the praise gets overlapped on him sometimes when he has been having a bad game. So, but when he does things like he's done in the last couple of games, how can you leave him out?
Definitely, though. It was excellent.
77th minute, Danilo, Lammers and Balogun off, Dessers, Lawrence and Davis on. 78th minute, it was a red card for Hearts, or so we thought. It was a second yellow card. The cross in from Hearts into our box. Kingsley went down. The referee instantly seen a dive, and he gave him a second yellow card. There was a long VAR check, and he goes to the screen. He not only reverses the decision, he gives a penalty as well. To me, Dave, it's unclear as if he touched them or not. From one angle, it looks as if he did. From another angle, it looks maybe the barest of skiffs at the back of his heel. I mean, I think what would have been justified in that case there is rescind the second yellow, but don't give a penalty, because I don't think there was enough there to give a penalty. That's the thing. It maybe wasn't a dive. I don't think there was enough to give a penalty.
As you say, it was quite inconclusive, wasn't it? Because they did see it from two angles, and I thought it was quite funny because certain commentators on the match, as soon as it happened, they were saying it was a stonewall penalty, but then when you saw it from a different angle, they had to change it and say, oh, well, it's quite difficult to see it from there. So, in other words, it is inconclusive. So, the referee gave the penalty anyway, Derek. He rescinded the yellow card. They did use VAR, but like you, it wasn't as a straightforward and stonewall as what some people were making out it was.
Yeah. Up steps Shankland on the 81st minute, and he made it 3-1, sent the keeper the wrong way. And what I found funny with that as well, Hearts fans started lighting up. A couple of them started lighting up flares as well. It was a consolation goal, guys. Come on. 86th minute, Lawrence with a thunderbolt from 20 yards, a save by the keeper's feet. The ball spins up, and Dessers, it must be high from the last game, because he tries an overhead kick, but it went over the bar. I mean, one goal he scores, and look what happens. But I'm quite glad he's trying that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
87th minute, Barisic on the overlap into the box, has a shot at the near post, forcing the keeper into a save out for the corner. And the last piece of play here is Tavernier off in the 95th minute, Sterling on, and I don't think he even touched the ball, but he done great, none the same.
Yep.
So, outstanding, Dave. Delighted with that. I mean, it was a decent first half performance, an outstanding second half performance, and into the final. That's against Aberdeen on the 17th of December. So, 3 o'clock kickoff, that's been confirmed for as well.
Derek, dare I say it, the Dundee performance was fantastic, but I think possibly the second half of the Aberdeen game there was when I really finally thought to myself, the manager is really getting things going here, because he is making players who we didn't think were good enough for Rangers, making them come on and be key players to the team, not by them turning all of a sudden, into world-class players, but just by the design of his tactics, where he wants people to play. The difference in the likes of Scott Wright is unbelievable. Without him doing anything spectacular, he just looks as if he can change a game, which is incredible. And a player, Derek, who I was very impressed with when he came on, and I can't wait for him to get back to full fitness, and we've hardly seen anything of him, was Tom Lawrence. I thought when he came on, Derek, he looked very, very dangerous. We just have to hope and pray that he stays injury-free and gets back to full fitness, because I think under the new manager, he could be a top player for us.
Yes, absolutely. So it leaves us in the table. Obviously, we're into the final of the Cup there. It leaves us in the table sitting in second, played 11, won 8, drawn 0, lost 3, scored 24, conceded only 6, goal difference plus 18, and we're on 24 points. We're 8 points behind Celtic just now, but we've got a game in hand over them because obviously we were playing in the semi there. So the games to come. We have got the next game is on Thursday, the 9th of November. That's at home to Sparta Prague, Europa League. Game 4, that's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Sunday, the 12th of November, we're away against Livingston in the Premiership. That's a midday kickoff. For the international break after that, Scotland play Georgia on the 16th and Norway on the 19th. Then it's Sunday, the 26th of November. That's away against Aberdeen in the Premiership. That's another midday kickoff, and that's rounds out November. So lots of games still to play, Dave.
Yeah, big game on Thursday, Derek. I really hope that the players are up for that one. Be interesting to see how the manager, gets us to play in that game. He's had that's him bedded into the team now. I think he knows what he's got. So fingers crossed they can get the result there.
Yes. So we'll now go into the news. So just a couple of bits and pieces to go over in the news, Dave. Obviously, the pyro at Dundee caused a bit of a stushy. Now, Rangers and Dundee are going to avoid punishment simply because there is nothing in the rules about that. So, quite rightly, Rangers and Dundee don't get any punishment. Now, I had Ewan Murray on my Twitter, talking nonsense, to be honest. He wanted Rangers to be punished. It'd taken a good few tweets to get him to say that, mind you, but he wanted Rangers to be punished. Now, how do you punish something? Rangers have no control over their fans. All they have to say, and no club has control over fans, all the club has to say, don't bring stuff, pyro, to the game.
Yep.
And fans ignore that. There's nothing the club can do. On the other hand as well, it's the stewards of the home team that are arguably are to blame because they are meant to be doing the searches. So then surely it should be the home club that get into bother for that one there. So how do you justifiably dish out punishment for that kind of thing? You can't. But it's just the usual. There's been pyro constantly throughout Scottish football. It just so happens that Rangers are involved this time and we're the ones on the receiving end of calls to get banned and all that kind of shit. Now, Dave, there's a time and place for pyro. The fact that it caused a delay in the game, unforeseen, because I don't think it's ever happened before where a fire alarm's been set off by the pyro, unusually, but it's a bit weird, that one. But I think fans need to be memorised. We've had a 45-minute delay already. Did you really need to do that? It caused an issue, and even Clement came out afterwards and saying, it caused an issue. Visually, it looked amazing, but it disrupted the players. That's the bigger issue, I think.
Definitely, and that's what sort of annoyed me, and I think would annoyed like the rest of the fans that were are there or for trying to watch the game. The fact the game had already been delayed, and then that caused another delay as well. Now, the fans that brought it in wouldn't have expected that to have happened and affected the game the way that it did, but it did. So just read the room, I think, Derek. Is that maybe the best way to say it for that should have happened? But it's happened now. We've got the result. There's not been any punishment because of exactly what you said. So I think we should move on and, again, just have a wee think if it ever happens again, if it's going to cause any disruption. I think that's just the main point there.
Yes. Next thing here is Barry Robson has been slamming the fixture schedule because his team obviously got into the final along with us, and he was complaining the fact that they are playing Eintracht Frankfurt on the Thursday before the final. And he's hitting out the fixture schedule. Well, that is one of the things that happen in when you're playing European football. We now obviously have the same issue because we'll be playing the exact same night as well.
Yep,
we will have the same issue. And I didn't hear him complaining when we had, it was at a run of something like 6 games in 11 days in 2008. We had played the last game of the season, we had the Europa League final, and then we had the Scottish Cup final all within a 6-day period. So he was away busy enjoying his fictitious tour of Japan at that time as well. So.
No, exactly, Derek. Everybody, it's affecting us. It's affecting everyone. It's the same for any club in this position. So I really don't know what he's complaining about, to be perfectly honest with you.
No. Next thing here is Lundstrom in the interview after the semi-final there. Quite interesting comments. He said, it's a breath of fresh air having Clement in. The mood around the place is so much better. Clement's been great to everyone, not just the starting 11, and he's even talking about everybody who isn't even in the matchday squad. You can take it two ways. Is he having a big dig at Beale on that one there? I'm unsure. But the fact that the better point of that is the fact that everything seems to be on track now. We're winning. There's a new way of playing. There's the players clearly are understanding the system that they're meant to be playing, and it's quite clear that it's becoming clear now that Beale clearly lost the dressing room. I think.
100%. Yep. So, and you know the man that made the comment, a man who has improved, vastly. I think over the past few weeks has been John Lundstrom. I think he's been outstanding for Rangers. So you can see it just even in the play, Derek, that everyone looks a lot more confident. And certainly the last two results, it's just been getting better and better. So great to see.
Yes. Next thing here is the next Rangers fans forum is getting held at Edmonton's house tomorrow night. So that's it'll be tonight. The Tuesday the 7th of November, that's at 5:30. So anybody who's been invited, I think, is getting already aware of this. Minutes will follow after. Certainly it'll be a lot more positive than it would have been about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So
definitely.
It'll be interesting to see about that. It's not obviously just going to be about directly on the field stuff. There's going to be, I'm pretty sure there'll be off the field things talked about as well. So we'll see the minutes from that.
Interesting, yep.
And the last piece of news I've got here is we mentioned them in the last podcast about the faux pas that the K-pop band Stacey had done in Texas a couple of weeks ago. Is they have actually been at Ibrox today.
Yes.
So seen a couple of the videos there, seen the Edmonton house as well. Just bizarre, Dave. I mean, this week couldn't get more bizarre, but this just topped it, I think.
Exactly. Kevin Clancy assists Sam Lammers wonder strikes, games delayed for 45 minutes and a K-pop band through Glasgow at Edmonton House. So I thought that it might have been a wee bit tongue-in-cheek if they'd have turned up with Texas Rangers tops on the day, Derek, but thankfully they didn't.
That would have been funny. So, traumatised woman forced to visit A&E, her adult toy got stuck inside her bum.
So always a theme here, Derek.
Yes.
There's always a theme.
A woman ended up having to rush to hospital after a bit of you-know-what with a friend with benefits left her with an adult toy stuck up her bum. Gigi Chapman says she was having fun with her friend and they decided to introduce a 3-inch metal sex toy she bought on the internet for their fun. Things soon went wrong for the 34-year-old after she felt the adult toy go a little further than she had planned. At first, she thought their friend had taken it out after the discomfort went away, only to realise that her body had sucked up the toy. Chapman initially tried to get the toy out by spending 40 minutes squatting in a warm bath. But when that didn't work, she was forced to seek medical help, calling 111 and to seek professional help.
Oh my God.
She avoided needing emergency surgery, but she still had to go through an excruciating procedure, which now she says she can now imagine how childbirth feels like. I think she maybe needs an anatomy lesson there.
Oh, dearie dear. Dearie dear. Oh my God.
All I'm going to say, Dave, is that an x-ray and flared ends don't always work. On that note, we will end the podcast.
Yep.
So, Dave, it's been a pleasurable experience watching the last few games. Obviously, the first Hearts game a wee bit tetchy, but outstanding in the end. We kept on going, and the last two games just an absolute joy to watch. It's going to be a difficult game on Thursday, but we're at home. The crowd behind us. We've showed we can mix it with them.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Derek, I am, and it's a terrible thing to say, I am getting excited again watching us play, and I'm looking forward to games coming up, which I've not done in a wee while now. I genuinely think this guy in charge knows what he's doing, which is what we've been missing. And I just have to hope beyond hope that we can keep it going. And hopefully we manage to get a victory on Thursday. I think that would be huge for us, Derek, because we've had some huge victories in the league. But to get a victory against Sparta Prague to put us back in the mix, majorly back in the mix in that group, would be massive. So fingers crossed.
Yes. Well, I'll be back with a post-match after that. As ever, you can check out all the usual stuff that we do on the usual podcast outlets, as well as Twitter and Facebook and YouTube for that matter. So, thanks for listening and goodbye.
Take care, folks. Bye-bye.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.